Do you want to see what you can do with Dollar Tree gift bags other than just using it to give a gift? You won't believe the affordable, creative, and fun ideas I'm sharing with you today, all from one Dollar Tree gift bag. Hi, this is Christine. Welcome back to the channel. If you're returning and if you are new, welcome to you as well. And in today's video, I'm sharing how I use a Dollar Tree gift bag. Get ready to be amazed by how affordable and creative these DIYs turned out. I picked up the one that I use in store, but I decided to hop onto the website, the Dollar Tree website, and just do a search. Scalloped edge gift bag, and I did not really see it here. I saw gift bags, a lot of gift bags came up, but the one that I got in store, I didn't actually see it. Now this is just to give you an idea of the variety of gift bags that are available on Dollar Tree's website. Now, as you know, or some of you may not have known, whenever you purchase from the website, you have to purchase in bulk. So I would say if you're gonna get any of these from the website, yes, it's good to do your search on the website. But if you're going to just do for your purpose, it's best to purchase that in store. So there, I'm just giving you some ideas of what they have online on the Dollar Tree website. I will leave Dollar Tree's website link in the description box just for easy access. You can click on that and do your own search. And full disclosure, I am now a Dollar Tree affiliate, so any purchases you make using my link, I do get a small commission from Dollar Tree, but at no extra cost to you. So this is our gift bag. One side has some little glitter and the other side is just smooth matte finish. This is a board I got at Target dollar spot for $1, and of course I picked up quite a few of them because you can never go wrong with using these in your DIYs. So here I'm removing the hanger, which came off pretty easy. I was surprised, no hard pulling or tugging. And then I removed the tag, and I am going to use the this side, which is the patterned side. So next I remove, because I want to maximize every part of this bag, I'm just using some heat to open it up. I also remove the fancy ribbon that is used for the hanger or for the handle. And here I am cutting where the bag joins. I'm just cutting along that edge, and I separate that into two pieces. And then I took the iron and just ironed that out, because you know it has where it folded, there were creases, so I just took the iron and ironed that out. Well, to be more precise, my little mini heat press is what I used, but of course you can use an iron. Make sure it doesn't have any steam. Next, I'm going to use some folk art classic green just to paint about 1.5 inches at the top, and that's just to pick up one of the dominant colors on our bag. And here I'm just measuring the distance that I wanted to paint. Because of the edge, the scalloped edge, you know, you have to cover that section. And because I didn't remove the paper. And now I am just applying some Mod Podge, and that's to ensure that my paint, because the surface is smooth, I want to have a matte finish or a matte surface to work with. So I'm just applying some Mod Podge and then dry that with the heat gun. And then once that is dry, I'm going to go in with the paint. I think I gave it probably 2 coats just to make sure that I had full coverage and I wasn't seeing the word underneath the paint. And you also want to make sure that your brush stroke is not visible, or go in one direction so that as you go over, you're not lifting up the paint, the areas that you already painted. And there it is, all dried. So now I'm ready to apply my gift bag, or to put my gift bag down. So for this side, this is the plain side. The other side has a glossy finish and the little glitter on it, which I don't mind because I'm going to be using it as is in another project. You'll see that coming up. So now I place the gift bag over the board and just mark with my finger, crease with my finger where I needed to cut. And then I cut that out. And of course, it did not go, the scalloped edge went as far as I wanted it to go, and that was good. And now I'm going to apply some Mod Podge. So I took the Mod Podge, put that down, and then I'm using the brush to spread that. I went with the Mod Podge because I could get more coverage freely. If you use like a tacky glue and stuff, it might not have given you. You could also use the school glue because that is a little bit lighter in terms of how it spreads. So that will give you more leverage in how you're spreading it. And the Mod Podge worked just fine. So, and while I was still up, because I was still up there, I decided to just go ahead and add some to the green section. So now that is done, I'm putting my gift bag over, centered it, make sure that it was centered properly. And then I took the parchment paper and the heat press again, and I'm just going over that to reactivate the Mod Podge and to seal it perfectly. There in the corner there, you see I have my school glue that wasn't working out. I will have to toss that because it hardened. So this is done. So I'm now removing the parchment paper, and then I'm using the sanding block to just sand off the excess in a downward motion until I remove all of that. Next, I took some wood letters and I spelled the word welcome, and I used the same classic green to paint those letters. I placed them on a piece of masking tape or painter's tape just to keep them in place while I painted them. There they are, all painted and dried. But before I added them to the board, I had some beads and I'm just stringing that on a piece of jute cord, and believe I used green, white and neutral. And then I just flipped the board over and glued down the ends of my string, added some more hot glue, and then I believe I put a piece of brown paper to just cover the knots, and that's that. And here are my letters. I'm just spreading them out evenly to glue them down. And before I glue them down, and just so they can pop off the board a little bit, I took the chalk marker from Dollar Tree and just went over the edges of all of those. Now I'm using some cement glue to glue these down. You can use, well, you could use wood glue. I wouldn't use hot glue here. So any form of adhesive that is long lasting, you can actually use here. So I'm just spacing them out. I use a strip of bamboo board or wood to just give me an even space, and then to keep that from moving around, I just use a piece of tape to hold it in place while I glue down my letters. So my friends, if you're enjoying the video so far, go ahead and give it a like, share, comment down below, because I enjoy reading your comments. On this channel, we do lots of budget-friendly crafts. Every action that you take towards the video signals to YouTube that you enjoy the content, and they will recommend it to more viewers like yourself. Next, I made a small bow using Dollar Tree lace ribbon just to glue that in the center. I didn't want to be too fussy with this because it's already fussy, so I just thought that a simple bow would be ideal. But before I glue the bow down, I took the gold marker to give some dimension to the scalloped edge and just went about maybe a quarter of an inch, if that much, right above the printed section. I just went right around with the gold marker, and that is to just give me some dimension. And then I glue down my ribbon right in the center, and that is going to be it for this one. Let me know what you think about this, guys. I love it. Now this is a Dollar Tree gift bag hack. Now for our next inspiration, this is the other half of the gift bag with the scalloped edge that is not glittery, that is glossy, shiny. So here I'm trying to get pegs of those little scalloped pieces, and as you see behind the bag, it's a wood round. I'm going to be using this on the wood round. So I'm making finding the center of each scalloped section and then just pinpointing right in the center and then draw lines to connect the dots in the center. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll see what I'm talking about when I cut these out. So I'm just drawing the lines, making sure that they are like evenly measured, and then I use the X-Acto knife to cut those out and didn't realize I was cutting on the actual board that I plan to use. So I grabbed the mat and now I'm just cutting those out. And these are what they look like when I was done cutting these out. So next we need to do something with our board, right? So I took my ruler and I just drew a line, not necessarily all the way in the center, or I believe I do in the center. And then I'm just placing our little sections or pegs on our board, and in total we have 5 pieces. And then I laid those aside and I gave this 2 good coats of some folk art Adirondack chalk paint. And now I'm going to distress to give me a faux wood section. So I took a paintbrush and I dipped that in some antique wax, and I'm just stroking the board right where I put a piece of masking tape to separate and to show me where my line is. And I'm just distressing the top of the board in a stroking fashion just to give me look like the board has wood grain. Once again, if you're here for the first time, welcome. If you enjoy the content so far, go ahead and give the video a like, comment down below, share, because I enjoy reading your comments. And I did that until I was satisfied, and then this is what it looks like. Now we're going to be working on the white section, so I just removed the tape and placed that at the top. Now you don't necessarily need your tape if you don't want to, but I just place it there for safety. And now I'm taking my pieces again, I'm just laying them down on the board, and they're going to be glued on right where the stained section starts. So to keep them in place, I'm just using little strips of masking tape to hold them in place. And then once I had all of the pieces in place, now I'm going to use my Mod Podge to glue these down. Now for some strange reason, if you happen to catch the video at this point, I'm not sure why you would, but if you so happen to be watching the video from here and you're wondering what is that she's using, you want to go back to the front of the video and you'll see what I'm using. Now I don't want my little pieces to shift, so I'm gluing each one on separately, and I'm doing it in small sections just so they don't lose their spot. And I'm just taking a little Mod Podge with a small brush and applying the Mod Podge, put that section down, and then lift the strip of gift bag, apply some more Mod Podge, put that down, and then took the parchment paper and the heat press, and I did that for all the pieces until I was done. Now this is what it looks like when I was done. Now those little strips or the tips, I just took a ruler and just even that with the line and cut those off, remove my tape, place it back down. And I'm doing that because I didn't like how it looked too sectiony or too halfy, if you understand. So I needed to break up that brown. So I took the tape down, added another strip of tape, and then I'm going to paint that little section that I taped off with some more of my white paint, then stain, and then white paint. You would think that I would think that through, but I was just going as I'm going. So I painted that, gave it 2 good coats, and then dried it, and then removed my tape. And now I am just adding a little piece of jute cord. I doubled the cord because it was looking too sparse. So I doubled the jute cord and glued those down on both ends. Just a side note, my friends, while I glue on this jute cord here, just to let you know that I am on Whatnot, and that's a live auction platform where I'm now selling a lot of my DIYs. A link is down in my description box. You can come on over when I have shows and check those out. I would surely appreciate seeing you, some of you guys. Next, to add some dimension to our little pegs, I took the gold marker and I'm just tracing around the edges of each using a ruler as my guide, and that does the job. It just lifts them up off the board. Now, to bring some cohesiveness to my design here, I am cutting out little pieces of flowers, just leaving a tiny bit of white around this, just fussy cutting this out, and I'm going to place that in the white section there. I cut 2 pieces. Only a pity that they were both facing the same direction, but hey, there are 2 pieces. So I'm using the Mod Podge as my adhesion or adhesive or glue. And I just applied some on the board and placed my little, they look like boxwood pick. I'm going to say they're boxwood pick. And then I took a piece of shrink wrap, place that over the pieces, and just use my finger to seal them or to rub them in. Next, I had this ribbon. I think it is wired, and I'm just going to make a little bow. So I folded it in the awareness bow and then just crunch that up in the middle and use a jute cord to hold it together. And then I use another little piece of the same ribbon to wrap that around the center to finish that off. I then dovetailed the ends, and that's just folding the ribbon on itself and cutting off the excess in an angle. And then I just place that aside. Now, before I glue that on, I needed to apply my Mod Podge. So rather than using the brush, I'm going to use a sponge and just dab that on, and that tones down the sheen on the paper or on the tips, the scalloped edge, as well as seal everything in. And then after I did that and my Mod Podge dried, now I am ready to add the handle as well as to glue on everything. So I'm just taking my pencil and just marking where I needed to pierce my hole. I love this little Hardell tool that I've been using, or a Hardell handheld drill. So handy, so handy, so handy. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. A link to this is in my description box, so if you'd like to get yourself one, that is there. It's also in my Amazon store. So now, after I drilled my hole, I'm using a little piece of jute cord that I found somewhere, and I'm just using a little hot glue on the tip to just glue that down so I could feed it through the hole easy. Once I did that, I then took 2 little beads. These are finished wood beads, and just glued them on the end of our jute cord here. I did tie a knot to knot them before I added the bead. And once I added the bead, then I just tack down the bead in place so it doesn't move anywhere. I also flipped it over and added just a bead of hot glue right at the top of the board to keep the hanger from moving around. Now that is done. I did get these 2 leftover burlap roses from the Dollar Tree. I thought that those would add a very nice look here, so I'm going to glue those on. They have a little foam sticker at the back. I just remove them off the sticker and glue them on. And then I'm going to glue my bow at the top here. No, I wasn't done yet. To add some dimension to the red bow, I found a burlap bow and glued that in the center. And now we're done. Let me know what you think about this. You'll see more of it in the final reveal. Alright, so you may be wondering if there is anything left from the gift bag. Of course there is. So I had this can. I'm going to paint the bottom and the top part with some with some chalk paint. Painted that with the chalk paint, and this little piece of gift bag that was remaining, I am just going to glue that on. So I'm adding some hot glue and then the paper, and then going all the way around glue down the end, trim off the excess, and we're making a little vase or a little pen or pencil holder, or your paint brushes. You can add that, or any little knickknacks or trinkets that you want or have laying around. You can add that. So once I glue that on, I'm just snipping the edge of the paper rather than cutting it off. I'm just snipping it and then folding it in and using some hot glue to glue that down just to finish the rim of the can. And then a little piece of the paper was remaining. I just cut that down and added it to where the paper joined. And then to embellish this, I took some jute cord, glued down one end, and then went right around probably 3 or 4 times, I think. Yeah, probably 3 or 4 times, and then cut that off, glue down the end, made a little bow, glue that on. And then to raise this off the surface a little bit, I added 3 half beads as legs, just to lift that off the surface. And that is done, my friends. Another gift bag hack. Now here is our scripture for today, Psalm 92 verse 1 and 2 from the Living Bible. It is good to say thank you to the Lord, to sing praises to the God who is above all gods. Every morning tell him, thank you for your kindness, and every evening rejoice in all his faithfulness. Amen. Now here we are for the final reveal. 3 gift bag hacks from 1 gift bag. Can you imagine, guys? 1 gift bag. And you can do this too, right? Let me know in the comments which one of these was your favorite and whether or not you will try something like this. And if you do try, post a picture, find me on Instagram, let me see what you did. And guys, I apologize for not posting as frequently as I used to. I am working on some other things in my business in the background, including a freebie for you guys. And you will see more of that in a few weeks. Stay tuned. And there you have it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. I enjoyed crafting with you today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more creative projects like these. And tap that notification bell as well so you never miss an upload. Need more inspiration? Click right here for other fun DIYs. Happy crafting, stay safe, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!